Well, another All-Star Weekend has come and gone, and we at One-on-One Sports would be remiss if we didn't discuss what went down over a pretty cool annual 72-hour period. So to break things down, we have Alex Sharon and Matt Dowdle in the building. Let's start things off, guys, with a layup of a question. What was your overall impression of All-Star Weekend?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. This was the best All-Star game that I can remember in my entire life.
No, I don't care if it's the best All-Star game you have ever seen in your entire life. The point of the All-Star game is that still has no meaning behind it. The game has no effect on the rest of the season. Therefore, it's already half the excitement of the game itself is gone.
Of course it doesn't have any effect. It's for fun. It's great. I get to see Kobe and LeBron going at it, but not really intense.
That's not great. That gets kind of boring. You expect the same thing on a yearly basis. Once again, the score is cranked up above 140 points apiece. Both teams are just showing no defensive work, much less than the NBA normally shows. I mean, it's not that exciting.
That's the point of the All-Star game, though. You want to see offense. You want to see these players show off how cool they can look. It's like a little kid.
No, I want to see how cool they can look when they're actually performing against a solid team, against a solid defense. I don't see how great they can look when, LeBron James stands at the top of the key and parts the defense like the Red Sea and says, excuse me, I'm going to take a dunk. I want to see him do it when he drives through a few people.
When you're a kid, you love seeing this because it's just so satisfying to watch.
When you're a kid, you want to see something like, you want to see the dunk contest where the theme of it is, really, guys, jump, go crazy.
There's a reason that the NBA is an offensive league.
All right, listen, I got to get the point to Sharon. Nobody wants to see defense in the All-Star game. Moving on. Now, last year, most people, including this objective host, thought that the slam dunk contest lacked a little bit of flavor. This year, Blake Griffin competed, and he won. And guys, did Blake and crew help revive the dunk?
Was the dunk contest revived? Yes. Was it by Blake? Absolutely not. It was everyone but Blake Griffin that revived this dunk contest.
Totally agree.
He bought it. I mean, that's the only reason he won. We saw Serge Ibaka take off from further than Michael Jordan and Dr. J, and he got shafted. He had a 45 out of 50. Both of those players got 50s. It was ridiculous that Serge didn't move on to the next round.
I couldn't agree. Now, I will give Blake Griffin this. It's because of Blake Griffin that the hype for the dunk contest was just so high going into it. Everyone was really excited to see what he could do. No, he did not produce, but he brought the hype. But for what he didn't do, Serge Ibaka and McGee, they both performed. 2-ball dunk, a 3-ball dunk. McGee brought a whole new twist to creativity with the dunk contest. I loved it.
I will say one thing, though. The finals were not that impressive. The finals, JaVale did his best 2 dunks first, and Blake, of course, I thought he did the worst out of every competitor that was competing in the dunk contest. But the first round will live on to maybe rival the cookie jar with Vince Carter, all the other phenomenal dunks that we've seen over the past couple of years.
All right, I got to say, both of you guys are wrong simply because it is the dunk contest, and Blake Griffin, well, they don't need a vote in the beginning of the final round, but he jumped over a car.
He jumped over the hood of a car.
Okay, anyway, we're running out of time, but before we go, I must ask one more question, a double-barreled one at that. What was the worst and best events of All-Star Weekend? We'll start with you, Matt.
In terms of the best event, you know what? I'm going to have to go with the dunk contest. Again, I wasn't entirely a large fan. The three-point shootout is okay, but they're shooting a basket, which is, at best. I'm going to have to go. The dunk contest in itself, you had Blake Griffin revive it with the hype. You had Ibaka show off that he could jump further than anyone else in the history. And then, anyone who's tried the free throw jump. And then you had McGee go for the 2-ball and the 3-ball dunk, which in itself was creative. But again, as a whole, that's the best, but it's still not that impressive.
Okay, Matt, you're missing the point. The point of the 3-point contest, all those little events are little intermissions in between the big events. The rookie-sophomore game, the dunk contest, and the All-Star game. To me, there wasn't really a worse part because they were all so phenomenal. But the best part was the rookie-sophomore game because you get to see John Wall and Blake Griffin go off. Who can forget the bounce pass that Blake Griffin received from John Wall for the alley-oop? It was great.
It's a schoolyard game. Great, he did a bounce pass. Take him outside.
There's a reason people love it, though. We don't get to see it on a normal.
They can have him go do that outside. They don't need to do that in the game. I want to see them go now. I want to see John Wall slice through the defense and just beat the team as a whole when they're playing.
No love for the celebrity game, but that's okay. What was the worst event of the All-Star game?
Oh, there wasn't a worst event. It was all phenomenal. They all merged together and showed exactly how you're supposed to hold an All-Star Weekend. Except for the little random things they were doing off on the side, doing the little scenes from movies. That was horrible. That was the worst part of the All-Star game.
No. The worst part was still, it's the game. The game was the worst part. I don't care.
And that's saying a lot because it was great.
It was
phenomenal.
not great. There's a difference between a great game and a bunch of guys saying, hey, I'm going to take the ball, my turn to dribble up and take a dunk. Now my turn to bounce pass to you and you can dunk. There's a difference. It still was not very exciting.
If you didn't get excited by Kobe Bryant dunking on LeBron James, turning around, patting him on the butt, and running down the court smiling, then you're missing out.
Well,
I just don't know
a
what's
little,
wrong.
a little bit of Kobe Bryant butt tapping to end the segment. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have left for this edition of the One-on-One Sports Webcast. But don't forget, while you're browsing on YouTube, to check out the other webcasts One-on-One has to offer. And don't forget about our weekly radio show airing at 10 p.m. Wednesdays on WSOE, and our weekly column in the Pendulum. For Alex Sharon and Matt Dowdle, I'm Adam Lawson. Good night, America. And whose side are you on?